Um, so I have overflowing optimism, and it's one of the things that I think you really need if you're chasing a dream, right? If you're going after something that is sort of bigger than yourself and bigger than your reality that you're currently in. But this week, I I didn't have any optimism. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of The Unemployed Actress. I'm Lobcke, I'm her is she, and she is me. And we're back for another week of The Unemployed Actress. Welcome back for another week with me, family, friends, followers, subscribers, everybody. Welcome to The Unemployed Actress. Guys, I know I'm usually on my Golden Globe rant, watch Golden Globe movies. I didn't do that this week. Or I'm giving you an acting update, and we're going to get to all of that. But yeah, this week it's not a great one. It's not a great one for this unemployed actress. In the spirit of transparency, I feel like I've had my Emma Stone in La La Land moment this week, where she talks to Ryan Gosling's character and she says, you know what, I think it's time I quit. That maybe I'm just not one of those people whose dream comes true, that I should just accept that I'm never going to achieve the heights that I want to. So it's time that I quit. She goes on to say, it's been 6 years. I moved out here to achieve great things and I've achieved nothing. So I'm done. And he asks her, but why do you want to quit? Why do you want to quit? And she says, you know what? It just hurts a little too much. And this is one of those weeks where I feel a particular kinship with that in the spirit of an acting update, I've been to 5 castings this week. It's been a busy week for castings. It's also why I haven't gotten to watching my Golden Globe movies, but also because they're just not available for me to watch. But I've been going to castings, y'all. I've been going to castings. The year kicked off and it's been great. And yeah, a big week for castings. But I was just thinking about this yesterday because it's January, and January is a long month and we're waiting for payday. I spent so much money on Ubers to get to castings. So much money. And you spend so much money on headshots to keep your profile updated. You give so much of yourself to every casting. And listen, anybody who knows me will tell you that I'm an optimist. I'm not even a half full girly. I'm like, the glass is full. It's full. What is this half business? It's full. So I have overflowing optimism, and it's one of the things that I think you really need if you're chasing a dream, right? If you're going after something that is sort of bigger than yourself and bigger than your reality that you're currently in. But this week, I didn't have any optimism. I'm trying to conjure it. I'm trying to still be optimistic because some of the things you're still waiting to hear from. And I'm like, okay, I could still, But when you look at the hard facts of it and you look at the reality of it all, it's like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. The reality is the title of this podcast. I'm an unemployed actress. And you want to keep going and you want to keep optimistic and you want to, because it could happen. I just need that one big break. But it's been years. It's been years. And it's exhausting. It truly is. And yesterday all I did was I just felt like crying because I was like, I've poured years into this. I've poured money into this. And I feel like there's nothing to show. There's nothing to show. I've spoken about this in earlier episodes where I said, I don't even introduce myself as an actress anymore because I'm not. I'm not. But I really thought if I get back into the habit of being like, no, I'm an actress, and appreciating that craft for myself and loving it again and starting this podcast and having a creative outlet, that the appreciation for it and the love for it will just, carry me through. And it truly has. It really has. It's inspired some amazing conversations. It's gotten me back into watching films aplenty. But in weeks like this, I just want to call quits. I just want to call it quits. I just want to be okay with being done. Be okay with going, yeah, I'm finished. It's been fun, but I need to get off. I need to get off this roller coaster at some point. That day is not today. Let's get that straight. That day is not today. This is just how I feel, right? And if I'm going to be honest on this podcast and I'm going to say what it's like being an unemployed actress, then I've also got to mention that days and weeks like this come. Yes, I'm going to auditions. But have I booked anything? No. I keep my hair the way it is because that's the way it's on the headshot, and that's the hairstyle that's advised to get me more castings. I live where I live because of the proximity to the casting studios. I work out and eat for myself, really. I work out and eat for myself, really, but also I make sure that, I can keep my weight at, a constant. A lot of my life revolves around me being an actress, wanting to be an actress, making a success of being an actress. The only thing I've ever really done for myself and said, fuck it, was my tattoos. Because everybody will tell you, oh, you're not going to get casted with those. And I'm like, there's makeup to cover it up, please. But these are the only things that I said, I've always wanted this and I'm going to do it for myself. Because all the others are hidden. They're in places that can be hidden by clothing. The sleeve is the only thing that I finally was like, I've always wanted my arm to look like this. And I'm going to do it. And I did. And I'm going to add more. But a lot of my choices in my life have revolved around me wanting an acting career and me working towards it and aligning myself to it. And now I'm just I'm tired and I'm disappointed and I'm sad. And I'll be optimistic tomorrow. tomorrow I'll watch a film that inspires me, or I'll read a book that inspires me again, and I'll find my drive and my spark and my everything again for my craft. But today I'm disappointed. Today I'm sad. Today I can stack up regrets about choosing this line of career. If it was the thug life, it'd be like, I didn't choose the thug life chose me. I didn't choose acting chose me. Which is true. Everything really aligned itself for this to be my career path, really. And not in a way that I pushed it in that direction, but it just sort of worked out that way. I'm named after an actress. I didn't know this. My mum told me the story of my dad naming me, and he named me after an actress he enjoyed. So it's all pretty much aligned, but nothing's aligning. Oof. That's quite the intro, isn't it? There isn't a big smiley smile, a big happy hoo-ha about anything. This is how I feel. So, there. Now, of course, I want to update you on the castings I did this week. Besides the one that went a bit awry, they were actually a lot of fun. When I was done, I was actually really optimistic about booking them because it felt good. It felt right. It felt like this is something I could book. This is something I got this. My phone's still quiet about that, so there we are. But it was really fun. It was really fun to be able to cast and to be able to get that feeling again after leaving a casting. I've said this before, and I've said this in my shorts, right? That it's so frustrating when they do these huge castings. And this week was the second time I'd been to one this year where they've done this. It's a big casting. It's a vast casting, where white, colored, black, tall, short, big, skinny, everything. It's so diverse that you're sort of like, I have no idea what you're looking for. Like, why are all these people here? I mean, when you cast the net that wide, you're bound to have a lot of fish. And there's a lot of people at the castings. And you're looking at the time and you're looking at the amount of people and you're like, how in the hell are you going to pull this off? How? Okay. And they don't. And you as a performer don't get your chance to present yourself properly. And I know, like, you should always present yourself well, but you're standing in a line with like 6 other people, unsure of when the camera is actually on you. Directions is sort of just do something, anything, go, be. And you're like, what is this? No, man, put some respect on our name. Just put a little bit of respect on our name. And we walked out, and me and some of the other actors, we were talking to each other, and we were like, what was this? The one girl said to me, I would have appreciated if they rather said, you know what? We found what we're looking for. We don't need to see any more people. Thank you. Because whatever that wasn't okay. That was not okay to do. And she as well was saying, I took 100 rand Uber to get here, and it's 100 rand Uber to get me back home. Like, this was not an okay way to waste our time, like, at all. Like, be respectful at least and give us our moment. Yeah, you're running late, but that's not our fault. We're all here on time. There were people that were waiting for over an hour and a half. And when they complained, it was like, yeah, we've all been here all day. Excuse me? You gave us time slots to be here. We make sure we're here ahead of time so that we're not late. And you're telling us, yeah, we've all been here? Okay. So that was, and this was the same casting company, so this happened twice. And it was like, oh, I don't like this. Oh, I do not. I do not like this. And it was so funny because the casting board, so the board where they go pin the photos of the people they've selected for callbacks and stuff. The second time I went for the second casting at this casting place, the first board was up from the first one that I was there. And there was no diversity on that board. None. It was white women. There wasn't one person of color there. The difference in the white woman was that it was 3 blonde women and 1 brunette. And I was like, so why did you have women of color show up? Like, why did you open the casting to women of color? Because when I look at the board, it's only white women. So why didn't you make this a casting for white women? Like, huh? What was... Okay. Okay. So that was that was that one. That was that two. The other one I went to was in the same day that I was at the one with the giant casting that we were also upset about. Was the same day, and I had so much fun at that casting. I left going like, oh my God, I could book this. I could actually book this. It was fun. I got really lovely direction, but also not too much. Just like, this is what I want to see. Let's try that. Okay, now, next thing, add a little bit more of this. Do your thing. So that was lovely. That made me feel like, oh, this was worth it. Castings like this is what we come out for, is what we pay that Uber money is for. Castings like this. Yeah. That was fun. Yesterday's one as well. Really nice. Always funny when they tell you to bring props and you get there with your props and you have no need for props. None. And you're like, what did I lug this year for? Like, what? Okay. All right. This is fine. But also really fun. This is the note. Do it. Cool. Did it. Okay. This is my addendum. Do it. Cool. Done. Fun. These are the things. These are the castings where, like, yeah, it motivates actors because it's such a lovely space to be in. It's such lovely conditions to cast under, right? Because you feel like you'd actually been seen and you'd actually been given a chance to perform. So there you are. Fabulous. Yay. So yeah, that was that. And I think I'm missing the other two, but they were also just, I think, okay. Yeah. I made shorts, so you'll see them in the shorts. But that was the acting updates for the week. That was the castings that I've done this week that I am really excited about. I am. Contrary to how I started this, I am really excited. About it. But yeah, I have to also tell you that the downside of this is No thanks. No. Now, I was never going to leave you guys without an abstract recommendation of the week. Those are important to life. Watch a movie this week. Go. And this particular film was recommended to me by a friend of mine. True story. True story. I was asking him for a recommendation of something to watch, and he was with his friend, and his friend was like, watch Kneecap. And I was like, Kneecap? And he's like, yeah, Kneecap. So this week's abstract recommendation of the week is Kneecap. Kneecap is a drama comedy directed by Rich Pepiat. It is an Irish film. It is in the Irish language, which is really cool to hear because it's not a language you hear in film, really. It also had a lovely surprise in there that Michael Fassbender was one of the supporting characters. So Kneecap basically is a film about the origins of an Irish hip-hop rap trio called Kneecap, and how they rose to fame and the part they played in the preservation of the Irish language. That was a movement that was happening in Northern Ireland, and just how that all fits in, really. The film is funny, it is entertaining, it has moments where you're just like, what? What is happening? What am I watching? But I loved it. It's really good. It's a really good film, and really should be watched. And again, it's one of these things about like how music reaches so many people, how a genre of music can influence or play a really big part in a movement that a country is trying to make to save its native language. We're not going to get into that because South Africa has a giant history of having to fight for the ability to just be educated in our own languages. Yes, there are 12 of them, but that we don't have a particular language forced upon us. So, yeah, we know all too well what that is like. But yeah, Kneecap is really good. It's really, really good. Again, my ear's not familiar with Gaelic, right? I was talking to a friend of mine and I was saying I'm so used to hearing European languages and catching the flow of it and sort of, not always understanding, but I can pick out what the language is. The Asian languages are also ones that are quite popular to my ear, but I have never heard Gaelic in a film, and predominantly in this film. So it was really refreshing. It was really amazing to hear, and then just to see the delinquency that is the main characters, that how they evolve, who they become, really, really super film, really, and it should be seen. They get together in the oddest of ways. There's so many drugs involved in all of this, but the creativity, their inspiration, really the fight for the preservation of a language that they have been raised to speak but is dying out, and how music helped them bridge that, and how it reached the millennials and the Gen Zs to speak their mother tongue, if you will. So really good film, really. I'm not going to go over the whole plot and everything. Watch it. watch it. It's really enjoyable. And that's going to be my abstract recommendation for this week. So, there we are. Thank you for being here week after week, for listening to me talk, for subscribing, for liking, for sharing. I appreciate it all, and I'm super grateful that I get to do this. So have an absolutely beautiful week, and I will see you back again next week. Yes. From me to you. Goodbye.